Me now is Tom LoBianco. He is a Washington political reporter for Business Insider and a journalist who has covered Pence from Indiana's state capitol to the White House. He is also the author of Piety Power, Mike Pence and the Taking of the White House. Hi, Tom. Good to see you. So the Capitol attack was about 13 months ago. Why is Mike Pence choosing this forum to make his strongest statement yet against the former president?
Hey, Pam. Well, thanks for having me. Real quick, just before I hop in there, no longer at Business Insider. I'm a contributor at Vanity Fair and a contributor at Yahoo News.
Okay.
Still the author.
Thank you for correcting that. We'll make sure our team has those notes as well. Thank you for letting me know, and congratulations on your new role.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, look, I was surprised by this yesterday, and I think what we're seeing here, I wrote about this in a piece for Vanity Fair earlier in January, about a month ago, after watching him give a speech out at the University of Iowa, and you're seeing Pence come out of his shell more. And look, it's Mike Pence, right? I mean, we don't, he's not bombastic the way that Trump is, but a movement of inches counts as a movement of miles for that guy. And going out there and saying that is heavily calculated. Him and his team, they obviously see some kind of path for him potentially for the nomination in 2024 and ultimately potentially the White House. And he's doing things the way he's always done throughout his career, which is methodically. I mean, in a very distinct sense, it's kind of anti-Trump, how concerted and methodical it is.
Right, because we've sort of been building up to this moment. I mean, incrementally, he has said things here and there that he didn't have the power to do this and so forth. This is the most direct he has been about it. And of course, it comes on the heels of Trump putting out there point blank in his statement last weekend that he could have overturned the election. But you have to wonder, had Pence pushed back like this a year ago, would it have mattered?
Great question. I mean, look, 13 months ago, right after January 6th, he had the power to help try to invoke the 25th Amendment. He ruled it out in that moment. A lot of people thought his career was over. He, a couple months later, he gets back on the campaign trail. Of course, he's not actually declared, and nobody is actually declared for 2024 yet, but, they're all running in the shadow primary right now. And he's doing it slowly. And for me, really, the turning point, which you saw, I mean, look, some of this stuff, as you point out, Pam, has been out there before. His statements on January 6th are, he's been talking about how it's un-American for one person to, decide an election. He's been saying that before, and he keeps pushing the ball, as you said, just a little bit further. And, look, this one caught. And I think, too, if you look at the way that Trump responded to it, Trump is not giving it oxygen. Which
That's
is
what was
fascinating.
so interesting. Yeah, what do you make of that? Because we've seen Trump go after critics, right? I mean, no matter who they are, he will go after them. And that was not the case with that statement that Trump released.
Exactly.
What do you make of that?
Well, in a very real sense, remember this too. Why was Pence brought onto the ticket to begin with? I wrote about this extensively in the book, back in July of 2016. Why is he brought onto the ticket? And it's because of the new demographics that he can bring into the fold for Trump. But also remember, too, that Reince Priebus and Paul Manafort, when they pushed Pence for the ticket, they weren't just thinking about Trump, they were also thinking about the down ballot races. And I think a lot of those same groups, I write about this a bit in terms of the difference between televangelicals, which were already really on board with Trump, and kind of your Midwest evangelicals who are a little quieter about these things and might have stayed home. And that was kind of the concern. And I think what we're watching here is, Pence holding on to the same groups that he developed that rapport with before. I mean, look, he's going to the Federalist Society. The thing with Pence is you got to watch his actions more than the actual messaging. And he's doing it methodically. He goes to Florida. He does not get heckled. That was astounding. So this guy's a viable candidate right now.
He must have been able to sense that he would not get heckled for coming out and saying that. And remarkably, you know, on the same day that the RNC censured those two members of Liz Cheney and Adam Kinzinger, which was essentially doing the bidding of Donald Trump. Just a remarkable dynamic. Tom LoBianco, thank you.
Thank you, Pam.